How's it going, everybody? Massive Downy here, bringing you guys another video, and welcome back to another Lego build. And finally, coming in at 238 pieces, we have the Warden Encounter. Every time I go to do this one, I get a new Lego set that I want to build more, or I get a smaller one that I build first. But finally, we're here doing the Warden Encounter. So let's bust this bad boy opened up and get to building. Okay. A little bit of paper there. Throw that up on the stand here. Let's see what we have. Try my best here. I have the mic a little close to me, so I might bump it a few times. I'm going to try not to, but it's bound to happen. So there are 2 books to this. Okay. That is weird that they have 2 books for a 238 piece one. Okay, let me try to maneuver myself here a little in a nicer spot. Okay, we have 3 bags, starting with bag 1 here. Got to get this opened up. Okay. There we go. Let's pop that back here. And before we get too far in the video, as always, if you know, I've seen my Lego videos or longer videos in general. My phone, which I use as my camera, doesn't like to record past 27.5 minutes. So when we get to about that point, I will cut the video and start up a new part. Just, heads up there. Shouldn't be any issues. I should remember with no problems. Okay. And I'm going to have a little issue here. Like I said, the camera is really close to me on the stand, and my arm down here is wrapped up and under the mic. I'm going to try to, like I said, maneuver myself a little better, but I am not in a good spot. Let's start off the bat here, building, I don't know, this is which person is this? Silent Ranger. We are building the Silent Ranger first. Okay. Boom. There they are. Can't tell whether or not that's a boy or girl. Looks like a girl to me, but it's them. We're just going to call them them. They are done. Boom. Pop them there. Let me go to the next page. We are building some kind of potion bottle. Okay, let me build that real quick. And a little cork top. And we got ourselves a potion bottle there. Pop that right there. And then we are building, I don't know what that is. It looks like a carrot, but, oh, golden carrot. That's a golden carrot. So it looks like a carrot, but it's gold. There we go, golden carrot. We got those 3 done. Now, starting with, let me spread this out just a bit better. I always like making sure my stuff is spread out so I can see everything in one go. We're starting out here with our plates, and is that and then one of these dark blue 2x2s, and that's going to go up in the corner a bit. Page. We've got these little, which I'm going to assume are sensors. Get those up there. Make sure I'm placing those correct. Yes. And then we need a little 2x1 array brick next to that. Okay. We are doing a 2x2 plate right there. We are doing a 1x2 brick on top. and then a 2x2 brick on top of that one. And that's going to go right there next to that one. We're adding our long one here. Boom. Right there. Set, ready to go. Next. Sorry, it's going to get loud here. I say it every time. I swear they have some kind of cameras in my house, because every time I do a video, my neighbor just decides they want to go somewhere or coming back from somewhere. Every time. It is every time. I swear. They're listening. They somehow they know. Okay, we got that one done. We are building some kind of little structure here. We need a 2x4 followed by another 2x4, which goes on top of that one. And then I need the 2x2s. And those are going to go right on top of there. And then I need a 1x2 brick, which goes right there. So we got that. Let's see where that's going to go on the next page. And that is going to connect to the back side of this one. Boom, like that. Now we are adding this little blue piece there. We are adding a plate. But before we add that plate, let's add this other blue piece. And then the plate goes behind that one. Like that. There we go. Next, we have another plate, which is going to go right there. And then I'm adding a 2x2 brick and a 2x2 flat, which is going to go on top of that. That's going to go there. Next, okay, we've got some small bits here. I need to get three of these flat stud pieces, and then I need to get 3 of the normal studs here, and then there's these little half angle pieces that I have, and I need 6 of them. There's 3 and there's 6. Okay, now I've got to add them on here. That's going to go there. That bit's going to go right there. This one is going to go here. This one's going to go there. And then I have to add the corner pieces. These are going to be a little hard to add here. But that's going to go right there. Got one on the opposite side. Place, yes. It's going to place like that. Let me just straighten those up. We have, make sure that stud's going in the right spot. This stud going here, the flat stud there, and then I have a couple more corner pieces. That's going to go there. I'm going to assume this is supposed to be like the shulk, you know, the bits there. And then I got to add the last 2 down here, where these ones were at. And they're going to be a little hard to see down there because they're the same color as the ground. So to me, it's like, what's the point of really adding them? Just making sure those are all nice and straight. We are doing this. We're adding the sensor in. I believe that's what this one is supposed to be, is the sensor. That's going to go right there. Okay. We are adding this piece right here. One back. And then I should have 2 little clear ramp pieces that are going to go right there. And the next one's going to go right there. If I can get it on there. Did I do that right? I did that wrong. They actually go down on the other ramp piece. And this one's going to be moved forward by 1. There we go. Now that's correct. And then I'm adding this plate piece with the hole in the center and a 2x2 brick behind it. Well, let me go to the next page. Okay, we're adding this bit right there. And then we are adding some more chalk on top of that. So, yeah, I did that right. I'm just making sure I did that right. That one goes there. This one goes there. And then we need our corner pieces. That one there. And try to turn the other one. Get it in the corner there. There we go. That's that. And last but not least, we have 2 of these orange 1x1 plates. They're going to go right there on that piece. And that is bag 1, all done. Let me scoop up our extra pieces here, pop them in that bag. There we go. And I'll give you guys a close-up of this one and try to drown out the noise in the background. My neighbor is still sitting in their truck just out here, just holed up, and they're just sitting here. Always, always lovely. It's, I hate complaining about it because every time I do a video out here, like I said, they just show up. And they're constantly just making so much noise. And just sitting in their truck for no reason. Either you're coming or you're going. There's no reason why you're just sitting around. Go. If you're not going, turn the truck off. Shut it up. You got neighbors. Okay. Okay, there is bag 2 all emptied out. Right off the bat, we're starting with this plate piece, which is going to go right here. There we go. That goes right there. Next, we have, I believe, this one, which is going to go right there. And then I need a 2x4 behind that one. That's not 2x4. Neither is that one. Neither is that one. Where's the 2x4 there? No, that's not it. There it is. I keep grabbing these ones because they're 2x4 size, but they're not the 2x4s. Oh my God. What is going on out there? I don't hear a truck backing up. It is Christmas Eve. What is with all the noise? Yeah, I'm currently Christmas Eve. This video will go up on Christmas Eve as well, but I'm saying, man, there's just so much noise going on. Okay. Is it decently in frame? Right there? Right there? Right there. Yeah. Okay. We're moving on to the next page here, and I need a barrel. Give me the barrel. There we go. You guys probably heard that. That's what I'm talking about, man. It's just noise everywhere. It's got to be right when I'm filming a video. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, I get it. Like I said, it's Christmas Eve. Either you're at home or you're working. There should be no reason why you're running around last minute trying to get shit, or to sit on your truck for no reason. It should be, if you have friends and family to spend it with them. If not, shut your mouth and be quiet. No one else wants to hear it. So we're doing 5 of these 2x2s. Sorry, every time I do a Lego video, I go on a rant. I don't want to, but it is what it is. Okay. Looks like we're building some lava here. Building up some lava. That one goes there. That one goes on top. We are adding this one right on top there, and then there should be a see-through, there it is. So there should be a see-through orange brick, which is right there. And then we're adding this last 2x2 brick. There we go. that is, oh, dropping it. And that's going to go right there. Finally, they're going. Finally. There. Like I said, what were they doing? They were out, showed up, and then went out again. Man. I don't understand it. We are building this flower here now. There we go. Okay, next. Are these supposed to be like, are these supposed to be like glowberries? I don't know what these are supposed to be. I would take a guess. I think they're supposed to be glowberries. Let's go there. I'm looking for this one right here. That's going to go on top. We're making a glowberry bush. It's a glowberry bush. And we're adding our last plant on top, and I think that is done. Like that. That goes right there next to that lava. Next, we need a 2x2. There it is. The 2x2 flat. I need a couple of 1x1 flats. And then I need a couple of these blue studs. Okay. And these are going to go right there. That's going to go right there. I know it's going to be a little hard to see because of my hands, but I got to hold on to it. But yeah, we got that so far. And we are doing that one more time on the opposite directions. So the studs are going to go on top of the flats, and the flats are going to go on top of the studs. Like that. That one's going to go there, and I just need one more stud. And then we are adding the 2x2 plate with the hole in the middle, and we have this. I think this is diamond ore. If I had to take a guess, that's the only thing it looks like to me. I really don't know anything else in Minecraft that looks like that other than diamond ore. So that's my guess. That is some diamond ore. Okay, next we need a 2x2 brick. What are we at? 17 minutes? Oh, we still got some time. We need the 1x2s with the holes in the middle. They gotta have the hole in the middle. Actually, one there, one there. We need a 2x2 plate or flats, right? Yes. I just gotta find it. I know it's in here. There's not very many. It's not this one. Is it that one? Yes, it is this one. So that's the only one I see. And then there should be, is that rod for size? They show a rod, and I think it's a rod for size. There we go. And then we are adding a cover in the back that goes all the way like that. So we got this. And that's going to go right next to this diamond ore. I think that is supposed to, I don't know what that, I see there's a TNT. And I think that has something to do with the TNT. I'm not 100% sure. Don't know. Next, we're taking a couple of these half arches. I don't know what these are. I don't know how you would describe these. Those are going there. And then we are adding a 2x4 on top of that to keep it in place. Okay, next we're building the TNT. Let's get all our pieces together. First, let's do it this way. A little easier. Let's add the TNTs on top and then add that on top of the circular 2x2. There we go. And then we add the plate on top. And that's going to go right there in front of that. Yeah, that's supposed to, yeah. Okay. don't want to launch it off. Yeah, I did want to test and see what that was all about. So next we're taking a 2x2 and a 2x2 plate. That's going to go in front of the TNT. Okay, and then next I need another 2x2 brick. I need a 1x2 flat, which is going to go on top of that. And then there should be some gray ones, like this, on top of that, like so. So we got this. Don't know what that is. I have no idea. I got no idea what I'm building. That's gonna go there. Next, we've got some weird tall 1x1s with some holes on the side. The brick is trimmed this way, so this is gonna go there. Let me hold it down, facing that way, and this one is facing that way. Okay, and then I think these are supposed to be like, now we're adding like the little glowberries, so this is supposed to be some kind of vines, some more glowberry vines, but they're on the bricks this time, which doesn't happen. Okay, get on there. So then we got this, which I said looks like vines growing on the walls with glowberries. That is going to go right here on top of that. Now we need this long piece followed by a 1x1 brick, which goes right in that corner. Next, we need a 1x4, which goes front there. There should be one of these 1x2s with holes. That goes there. And then we need our 1x2, which connects right there. Okay, now there should be some 1x1s with the plus symbols. They're going to go right there next to each other like that. And then we add, not that, this one right here, right into that 2x2 brick. Now we need, there should be a small one, yes, we need this one. And we need to add this rubber bit. That's going to go all the way on there. Oh, that's really weird to get on there. And trying to get it on there. Okay, got it. It was weird. That's going to go on the back side here, like that. Don't know what that's going to do. Don't know. Okay, next. I might have grabbed the wrong size one. I did. Sorry, grabbed the wrong size one. There is actually a smaller one. Get that rubber bit off of there again. Okay, yeah, there's actually this smaller one right here that I did not notice. It's actually used for this part. Now that's there we go. Now that's on there correctly. Next, we need this one again. Now we need the bigger one. That's going to go in this outer hole. Actually, we need to add this first. We add this all the way back, and then we add this. And that's going to go right there. I have no idea what we're building. Now we take the bigger one, which is going to go through the front here like this. Gotta make sure that sticks on through without breaking anything. Come on, go through there. That's going to go all the way through. And there is this, I don't know what that is, like dome piece. I've got no idea what that piece is. That's going to go on the end there. So we've got this so far, and I have no idea what this is. Okay, we're just adding a single 1x1 brick right there. Actually, that's wrong. Sorry, we're adding a 1x4 brick and then a 1x1 brick. We are adding this right angle piece. That came off. There we go. Now that wasn't in there, I guess, all the way. We're adding this one there. And then there is a small little plate that's going to go right there. And then we're using the rest of these plates on top of this one. And I add that in the wrong plate spot. Get off of there. This one goes on like so. This one goes right there. This plate piece goes actually on the second part of that. And then this piece. Okay. That's going to go up here like so. Yes. Like so. There we go. And we are adding a flower bit. That's going to go right there if I can get it to connect. And then we're building a soul torch. I did that wrong. Sorry. I placed it on the bottom when I was supposed to go on the top. It was supposed to go on the top. And that's going to go right there. We have one more bit to build, but we're coming to the end of what I can record here. So I will finish up book 2 here in a second. Okay. Even though I started a new part up, my phone decided it was going to crash anyway. Awesome. We just finished up. The last 2 things we added was this bit right here, which I believe is gravel. We built a soul torch, which went up here. And then they wanted us to add the character, which was up here. And then we added the potion and golden carrot to this crate here. So we'll give you guys a full close-up of this. Hopefully, like I said, this doesn't crash again. Don't understand why it did. That's the whole reason why I stopped the video, is so it doesn't crash. But everything I do, I guess, is wrong. I picked the wrong time to record. Oh, we also added this flower here. But yes, that's what we have so far. I was talking about how I don't like this. Like I said, I believe it's supposed to be a gravel piece, but it's just hanging on there. You're supposed to pull that lever. You're supposed to pull this back, and then it's supposed to fall. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want to put it back up there. You know, I like being lazy. Now, like I previously said, get it on here. That is the end of book 2, or book 1. We are moving on to book 2, which is quite small here. It is whatever's left for book, back 3. Back 3. I'd say does it have the most amount of pieces? Looks like it's got a lot of small pieces. But I think this is mostly going to be the warden and the chicken that we still don't have built. So I think that's what all these pieces are going to be towards. Okay, got that down. We're going to move this just like right there. We'll give you guys, still want to keep it in a frame, but I want to make sure I got enough room to do everything I need to do. Okay, so right off the bat, there should be, it looks orange, but that, make sure there's no orange ones in there. The ones I'm looking at look orange, but they always seem to miscolor the instructions. Like, that looks orange to me. They have yellow here. I'm thinking it's supposed to be yellow. So we'll do that. We're building the chicken anyway, and on the box, he's got yellow feet. So, Lego, when you're printing your instructions, make sure the colors are right on, because they're not. You guys want yellow and you're showing orange. Why you do that? Why you do that, Lego? Okay, we've got that. We're adding those. I don't like that. We're adding some of his wings here. We're building wings for the chicken. And this is going to go right on top. There we go. Our chicken. It is tiny. It is a small one. It is quite small, and I am having a hard time playing with it. We are adding these two bits, two white studs. We're supposed to go with that, and then this egg. There's an egg. So I'm thinking, I can see it on the box. The egg goes there. That one is supposed to be like throwing whatever that. I would assume this is supposed to be like eggs, hand eggs. I don't know. They're throwing it. So I would assume, the only white thing you throw in Minecraft are eggs. So I'm going to assume those are supposed to be eggs. They're really going to have no placement on here because they really have nowhere to go. Now we're on to the Warden. I've got to find a 2x4 and then a 1x2. That's going to go like that. Next, we're adding another 2x4, which goes here. And then we're adding another 1x2 next to it. There we go. So we have that so far. Okay. We are adding a wing piece. I don't know. It's whatever this is. Every time I've played with Legos, these are always seats or part of the wings of ships. I got a lot of Star Wars Legos as a kid, so those are the ones I know those pieces from. And I always just assumed they were part of the seats or wings. We're adding these here. They're his arm joints, I believe. And then we're adding a plate on top of that. There it is. There we go. Boom. Could be his leg joints too. I don't know. There's some kind of joints. Yeah, there's some kind of joints. There we go. Yeah. That one goes there. And then I need to add a 1x4 blue flat. There it is. It's underneath that piece. That's why I couldn't find it. Boom. Next, we are adding these 1x2 bricks with the plus symbols right in the middle, like so. And then we are adding some more 1x2 bricks on the sides, like that. Next page, we're adding the chest plates here. They go like this. If I can get it in there. That one goes there. Right. Oh, I put him in wrong. Sorry, I made his ribs sideways. I made his ribs up and down. They're supposed to be on the side. And if I can get the piece off of there, we'll fix that. But as always, when it comes to Lego bits, they like stick in, and I can't. My problem is I don't want to put a bunch of pressure on the knob there. It's got that knob. I don't want to put any pressure on that. I'll break it. I've broken sturdier with less pressure. There we go. Now let me put these on correctly. With his ribs actually on the side. There we go. Up and down. I'm an idiot. I'm a goddamn idiot. Okay, we're adding this right there. Boom. We're flipping it. Like so. They've got it like that. We're adding this 1x1 flat right there, and then we need a 1x2 flat right on the top there. So then we got this. Probably a little hard to see there, but we've got that. Now, we need another 1x2 flat. There should be this piece right here, this weird tall 1x2 with the connectors on the side. We're adding another 1x2 on top. It's stuck. It's stuck on my skin. Got my skin. The Lego got my skin. There it goes. The Legos were hungry for my skin. I did it again. Look at some loose skin there that it keeps grabbing. I want to keep grabbing or something. I've done it twice now. Like I said, they're hungry. The Legos are hungry for my flesh. I'm building the Warden in Minecraft and it wants to eat me. In real life? What? like all the YouTubers. Minecraft Warden trying to eat me at 3 a.m. But it's actually like 1:30 in the afternoon. There we go. We got this. I actually forgot to add one bit. Where's this plate? I forgot to add this plate. There we go. There we go. Now it's finished. I forgot to add that plate. We're actually building the second leg here. So it's slightly different than that one. Because this bit actually goes on the opposite side. And this actually connects to this one. Like that. And that's the front of the Warden. That goes like that. I can't get him in there. There we go. So we got this so far. We got the Warden. Wow. The Warden's got the moves. He's got the moves. That Warden has the moves. Okay, Warden's gonna go right there for right now. We are building 2 of these, so I'm just gonna grab everything we need right now. If we need to be 2, well, why not just do both? I wasn't paying attention last time, but this time I see we need 2. Okay. I think these are his arms. I think we're doing those next. There it is. I'm trying to find bits, pieces. We need to add another 1x2 brick on top. There's the other one. Let me hold that down just a bit to get them on there, and then we need to add these 1x2 flats on top. There we go. We got that so far. It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Okay, we are hitting those bits. I want to make sure I'm hitting that on the right way. Which I am. There we go. Like so. And then there are these ones, which are going to go on the front there like that. Same with this side. And then we are adding these ones on top with the little plus signs. They go right up there. And then we're adding these little ball joints. Right there. There we go. Ball joints added. If I take a guess, next, yes, we're adding plates. There we go. Let's grab the plates that I need. Okay. That's going to go there. That one's on top. That one on top. That one there. And then they're going to go into these arm joints here. Boom. We got our Warden's arms. All we have left is the Headless Warden. The most scary Minecraft villain, the Headless Warden. Okay. We need this little plate piece. And then we need a 1x2 flat right in the middle. There we go. And we're adding another joint connector here. followed by another 1x2 plate. If I don't drop it, it goes on top. There we go. Next, we are adding these 1x1 bricks on both sides of the Warden. Let me turn the page here. Okay. Did I skip something? No. Huh? Okay. Yeah, okay. I thought I skipped something. There we go. There we go. We're adding these. I've never seen pieces like this before, so I have no idea what they call those pieces. Those are mysteries to me. Those, I don't know. Whatever they are, we're adding them. And then we're adding some flats on top of those. Some 1x1 flats. Which that one goes in there. I can connect it. And then I'm adding these 1x1 bricks in front of those. So then we got that so far. Type's coming along there. We're almost done with its head. We just gotta add the face plate. Do I make him happy Warden or mad Warden? Angry Warden? We can make him happy Warden. Look, he's smiling. Or we can do what the instructions say and make him mad Warden. He's angry. You don't like it. I like it. I think we do happy Warden. He's happy to see the Silent Ranger. That's what he's there for. He's friends with the Silent Ranger. No, we're making him mad Warden. He's angry. There he is. He's like, I turn. I am the Warden. I can barely stand. And that is it. We're done with them. Where do they want me to add that chicken? They don't show. We're going to add the chicken down here. I think that's a good spot for the chicken. Like that. He's like this. And then the Warden, I think we have to add next to the sensor. Because he was arisen by the sensors. The Silent Ranger wasn't silent enough, and then the Warden's usually like this. He's like that. It's a little hard to see there, but there we go. That is everything for this Lego build. Let me give you guys a full view of it. There's our Warden. There we go. There's the Silent Ranger and the chicken up there on this little platform. They aren't safe. They're definitely going to get sonic blast up there and destroyed because that's what happens. This one, to be honest, the Warden alone kind of makes this build for me. I wasn't really feeling this build. I was actually liking it less than our last one, which was the Cherry Garden, which I wasn't really liking that Cherry Garden very much. But to be honest, that Warden kind of saves this build. But yeah, that is everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one.